man. So CEO Spank, Bigger Butts Podcast, and I have a special topic today. I want to talk about if something wasting your time, get it out the way. Let's focus on the things that matters. And the topic in my life that I'm finna talk about is school. So listen, always finish what you started. But sometimes you gotta understand what's slowing you down, what's holding you up, what's taking time out of your day. Sometimes I quantify things in the aspect of, okay, if I do this school, I'll go to this higher university, higher education institution, get this degree, and make $80,000 a year. Now, it cost me 4 years of my life, plus another $80,000 in student loan debt. So now I gotta ask myself, mathematically, does it make sense? Time-wise, does it make sense? And for passion, does it make sense? Because I'm not knocking anybody that goes to university or any other higher education. But if you're doing it just for money, you gotta start looking at some things. We are getting a lot of terrible advice coming out of high school, telling us do this, do that. And there's a stigma. If you don't go to a big school, you're almost labeled as a nobody, even sometimes a dummy. You know what I'm saying? Like you're inferior, or even you don't have intellect per se. And that's another debate for another day, because we know good and damn well intellect is not based on no standardized tests. It really should be critical thinking that they base intellect off of, but we're not even gonna get into that. So yeah, coming back to what I was saying is just focusing on the things that matter. If we go into school for money, there's 10 better ways that we can speak on right now to make money that doesn't require 4 years or 80 or 50 plus thousand in debt. You get what I'm getting at? So, man, Tim, you got anything to say about this topic, man? Like, what do you feel? So, like, for you, have you had anything in your life that has took a lot of your time and you had to make a big boy decision and say, hey, I need to cut this out? Do you have any experience like that?
Absolutely, man. You know, this is personal for me. Yeah, with school, I didn't finish because I felt like my calling was higher, which here it is now. It's something that you feel, it's like something in your gut that's like, yo, what are you doing? They say you should never walk away from something that you started, but you also have to know when to walk away. You feel me? That's powerful right there.
That's dope. Almost like know when to come back and fight again, fight another day.
Exactly.
That's that type of situation.
There you go, man.
That's dope.
Since I was young, I've had this entrepreneurship bugging me. And when I went to school, I went for entrepreneurship. And, for me, it just ain't make sense. It's better for me to get that real world experience, as opposed to going to school, reading a book or a course on my computer. Now, don't get me wrong. For the right thing, school could be very beneficial. You can gain a lot of connections, fraternities, friendships, memories, But there's also a cost that's involved. And you have to ask yourself, am I willing to absorb that cost? A lot of people knock people who go to technical schools or two-year universities. And the saying is, I want the full experience. I want to get the dorm. I want to walk to the cafeteria. I want to walk around campus. Well, however, while that person's debt is only 10 grand and yours is 60 to 80, when you look back, who really made the better decision?
Who? And that's another thing. Going back to your topic of practicality and what you're learning, and he went to school for business. Now let me ask you, did it help you?
Not at all. Not at all, man.
Not one goddamn bit.
Trial and error, just failing and adapting and learning.
Yeah, and let me even say something. A wise man once told me, if you want to get good at riding a bike, go ride a bike. He said, if you want to get good at reading books, read books. So I was like, damn, that's true. If you want to get good at making money, go make some damn money. So it's like, we got to understand, there's a lot of this. School is theory at best. half of it is not real world practical application. And the worst thing about it is you'll go to school for your 4 years, even pushing 6 years, and get an entry level job. Why is your job entry level? Didn't you just do your prerequisites? Didn't you just get your experience? No, you didn't, because you have no practical experience on the job. So like me, I'm being a nurse now. I'm still gonna finish. I'm gonna finish by God's grace. You know, all that. Boom, boom, boom. But there's a lot of hectic, busy work, tedious work. That's all out the window once you step on the floor. Yes, you know a lot of it. Like, we're not gonna debate how much you do know, how much you're supposed to retain. We're not gonna debate that right now. But we know good and damn well when we get to the floor, the unit floor, we spend a year, being chaperoned by another nurse, basically, just to make sure we know what we're doing. Just to make sure. We should technically already know what we're doing because we're doing so much schoolwork. And leaving, the specificity of nursing is with any job. I'd rather see me, business owners, employers, people that hire people, they usually generally look, okay, he went to this school, he has this credential, he has that, to pick an individual. But see, I'm a business owner. If I pick someone that, all those credentials, those are cool, but I want to pick the critical thinker of the group. I might give somebody a question and say, hey, now let me show you the difference between a critical thinker and your general's school marathon, the way we're taught to process standardized questions. Standardized question taker, I might tell them, hey, measure this building with no measuring tools and tell me how tall it is. That individual may find his textbook, research that building, and get the exact number down to the inch of how tall that building is. But see, a critical thinker, he might not do that. He might not have that resource. But see, he's not gonna let that distract him. He's gonna critically think. So he might look at the building, measure his shadow. He says, okay, I'm about 6'2". The individual in the shadow, he says, I'm about 6'2". Yep. Let me take my shadow and estimate its comparison to the building. So he compares it, boom, boom, boom. He says it's about 4 times his shadow. 6'2" times 4, that's damn near what? That's like 24 feet, 8 inches. Then the guy with the textbook comes back to me and tells me the building's 32 inches, is 30 feet, 2 inches. The guy with the shadow tells me it's 24 feet, 8 inches, whatever. See, I'm gonna take all day to critical thinker. It took a lot more brain cells, a lot more on his toes to come up with that answer. My man with the textbook or the standardized test taker basically he's not gonna, when a situation comes for him to think on his feet, he's gonna look for a book. He's gonna look for the answer. He's not gonna find a way to figure out that answer. He's not gonna problem solve. And see, that's what I'm trying to get at. I feel that one of the many problems, I'm not even going to get into all the problems of public schooling and how it teaches us to be potentially dumb, but I'd rather be a critical thinker, chooses the route of standardized test taking in the form of taking man, it's a deep topic.
It's very deep. Cause
it's not a simple topic.
Nah, I'm thinking, like, for me, when it comes to learning, I love learning on my own terms, my own time.
Yeah.
Like, for Christmas, I got the Barack Obama book, and I'm reading that when I have the time or while I'm in that mood to. I'm not having someone, force me to read the information for this quiz I have to take or this test I need to submit or, anything like that, adding pressure to the situation. I think school, for the right purpose, could be very beneficial. Let me not get that mistaken, but for an individual to think that they're more or higher qualified than someone who doesn't have a degree or someone who got their certificate instead, I think you need to rethink your thought process. Information is out there. It's accessible to everyone and everybody now. We live in a time where the internet is like, it's in everyone's backyard.
For real.
What you may know going to Harvard, having a degree there, I may have access to the same information. And, you really have to put that perspective in mind. It gives you a lot to think about. For me, real world experience will always trump what you can learn from a textbook. But reading on your own terms and
Yeah.
absorbing the information that you can get from a book
Neuroplasticity.
along with the real world experience, it's gonna stop you.
Yeah, and just like he said, I'm not knocking what you get from your bus. I'm not never that. It's just relying too much. There's a difference between using a tool and relying on a tool. You get what I'm saying? But listen, we're stretching out this video a little too long. Listen, my name is CEO Spank. This is Bigger Butts Podcast. Sometimes we delve into different topics. There is business implementation. There is creative strategies. There is many, many things we are going to talk about. But this is a special topic that hit home a little bit. You know?
For sure, man.
For
Hey,
sure.
we always gonna incorporate videos where we can just be our authentic self, man.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
how we feel about a situation.
No doubt.
We're gonna make a video, let you guys dabble in the comment section. Tell us how you may feel about it or what your experience was. But make sure you like the video, make sure you share it, and make sure you subscribe. Again, it's your boy Tim, CEO of the Dragonfly Gaming Cafe.
Hey man, CEO Spank. I don't got no lounge, I don't got no damn cafe, but I'm doing some big things. All right, we finna catch you.